Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day, the Monday night Zoom edition, but we're early because of some carbon webinars getting in the way of my usual thing. So I'm 2 hours early today, hence the sparse attendance, but that's okay. We got some quality over quantity today. So we'll go ahead and get started. Bitcoin hit 22K on Friday, but couldn't hold it over the weekend. It's down about 10%, hanging around the low 20s. Let's go to the chart. All right, guys, you should be seeing my Bitcoin 4-hour chart. Can I get an amen?
Yes.
Thank you. So I've drawn this range. The top is 22.2, bottom is 18.8, and this has been in effect. Actually, I probably could have drawn it back further since mid to late June. So about the last 2 to 3 weeks. So I've gone back to using my dip trading approach as we're kind of in the middle of the range. There's room either direction. And I do think one needs to be careful with shorts in case this is the bottom and I'm wrong about this. And many are predicting one more drop below 20K, and that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. So this is the range I'm looking at for Bitcoin. And Ethereum looks pretty similar. I made a similar structure on Ethereum with a high of 1280, low of 1005, right at 1000, and it's didn't really figure out the percentage range, but it's about 20%, a little more than the Bitcoin one I drew. So it's trending a little bit below the midpoint. So that concerns me because the altcoins tend to be influenced by Ethereum, especially those on the Ethereum chain. And then finally, this is probably going to be something I look at and talk about a little bit on each of my Zoom calls. The USDT value is 0.999, so that's looking good. I hadn't realized that in late June it spiked up to over $1, but anyway, so USDT is holding fast despite the FUD that's been going on about it. So I did move some of my USDT off the Bybit exchange because just in case something happens with Bybit. I haven't heard anything, but I don't really need for it to be on there right now, so I moved it off. I considered converting it to USDC, but I like what I see so far. Not financial advice, but USDT is looking pretty good lately, so I think it's holding up. Any questions about the overall market, Bitcoin, Ethereum? I did look briefly at the news, and it's pretty much all financial news is bad right now, so there wasn't really anything worth emphasizing. It's kind of interesting that there's a new stable coin out, connected to the pound, the British pound. Kind of curious how that does. That's this one here, but I think we talked about this a little bit last week. So that's all I have for the market overall. Any questions or comments? Well, let's go to Altcoin Alert, see if we can find some trades. Okay, Altcoin Alert. I'm on the Altcoin radar. Most of you, I think all you folks currently on here have been attendees of my Zoom, so I'm not going to go into excruciating detail on anything. Sorting by the AA score. Let me refresh. And we have nothing that's very bullish, which is an 80 score or above. So there's nothing useful in this sort. My other sort that I like is the long-term sentiment sort, but I want to match that up with the Elder Impulse, and there's very little in the Elder Impulse. There's only 10 coins that are bullish. So, and the only one that matches up the Elder Impulse Daily, which is a technical indicator, with the long-term sentiment, which is the Twitter data, is Quant, We did look at this on Friday, but we'll go ahead and look at that again. So let's go ahead and check out Quant. Look at the Coinbase chart. And this one was well over $400 back in its glory days, back in crypto glory days of last fall. And now it's well under 100, but it has been trending up lately. On the hour chart, since the end of June, it's up about 80%, dip a little bit, oh, about another 20%, and back up. So this one's done some interesting things. Currently dipping. It had pumped above the Bollinger Bands here on the 5-minute chart. Looks like it could be going into a dip sequence. Let's see, what's Bitcoin doing on the 5-minute? Yeah, Bitcoin's going through a dip sequence now on the 5-minute chart. So we may be getting some good entries here. But we're not there yet as far as a dip trade here. We do have some pretty well-defined short-term support here right around just above $75. So that could be a good entry. If we want to use our indicator alerts on the 15-minute chart, pop over here, turn on divergence, see if divergence has been helpful. Don't think quant is something one can short. So, this divergence did really well. This one here from last night eventually did, caught the same pump. This one here, nice move, 6%. This one did something similar, up 5%. So, putting an alert on divergence could be useful. Right click on here, positive divergence. Once per bar close, that's important. And then elder impulse sort. And we're good to go. So, but I'm not going to do that one myself. If you're on Coinbase Pro and like to trade it, this would be a potentially good spot trade. The other option is, looks like we've had some similar moves from the MFI dipping below 20, just considered oversold. On that indicator, the RSI has been less sensitive in the 15-minute chart. It's only actually hasn't had any dip below the 30, which is considered oversold for the RSI. So with that in mind, I would probably go with 25 on the MFI, right click, crossing up, value 25, once per bar close, and that's going to be your elder impulse sort. Don't just blindly jump in when this alert goes off. Look at Bitcoin, look at the market overall, and see if it's something worthwhile. Of course, you want to take your money management into consideration. You may want to go in small on this in case we have another protracted dip in Bitcoin, say for the next couple days. Okay, any questions on quant? Alrighty then, let's go back to Altcoin Alert. We have this ELF token that popped up 13% out of nowhere. I think this came up last week on the CryptNation call too. Let's check out ELF. With a name like ELF, it has to be good, right? It's on BitGet. No, it isn't. That's something else. Okay, it is on Binance. Okay, the day chart listed on Binance in September, trending down ever since. Lost 90%, picked up about 10 on the hour. Let's get rid of this for the moment. Okay, it's up 85% in a week. That's interesting. Is there any news on this? Not really. That's all pretty general news there. Okay, 5-minute chart. Big pump, 7 a.m. Yeah, over 30%, drifting down since. So will it, will it retrace a bit and then pump up again? That's the question. So, your price alert, I think, would be in this vicinity here, around 22 cents. On our indicators on the 15-minute chart, let's put divergence back on. Obviously, this bullish divergence was really helpful, but we printed one again earlier this afternoon. Hasn't done anything yet. This one just went sideways. So I don't, our bullish divergence is essentially 1 for 3. That's not that encouraging. And again, looks like our MFI is a little more sensitive to the price action on this than the RSI is. So again, you might want to go with another 25. Actually, both of these did dip below 20, so you could use that as your MFI alert. Crossing up 20 instead of the 25 we did on the last one. Once per bar close and elder impulse. So that's that. Okay, any questions on ELF? All right, let's try a couple more Altcoin Alert sorts. So that was the elder impulse. AA score wasn't helpful. We could do the 24-hour change. And this AST is up 34% today. Perp is up 13. But usually when I do this one, I'm looking for something to catch on the bottom, like this DIDEX, down 15%, RSR down about 12, Rune down about 11. Rune something I trade with some frequency. So let's go ahead and look at Rune. Yeah, trending down, and we might be in the midst of a dip trade. We've got the squeeze and it's bubbling. Got essentially one dip. So a couple more, and this one could be a good dip sequence candidate. Well, I'm on the 15-minute, dadgummit. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Day chart. Got a little ahead of myself. Down 85% since March, end of March. On the hour, trending down hard. Had a big move here a couple days ago. Down almost 20% since. All right, now we're on the 5-minute chart, and yeah, this is a dip sequence here. Got our squeeze and it bubbles out. This dip's still kind of in the squeeze area, but I think we can count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 6 dipper. That's concerning actually. So I want to be careful with this one. It is trending up a little bit with this green candle. MFI and RSI are poking up, but below, both in the oversold area. So yeah, I think this one, is good to go. I might want to see some stronger candle action coming up. But if you want to get in now, that would be reasonable. Not financial advice, but you've got a little bit of resistance here for 1.8%. The SMA line's 3%. A bit more resistance here 4%. Then towards the top of the Bollinger Band, you know, retrace back to where it was this morning would be 6%. So yeah, this has potential. And then if you don't trust this and you want to wait, maybe wait till, you know, this RSI, I mean MFI or RSI punch above the oversold areas of 30 on the RSI and 20 on the MFI. You know, let's do the RSI on this one since we did the MFI on the others. You know, add your alert, crossing up 30 once per bar close, and I call this is Robert's 24-hour sort. This is his idea. Oh, he's not with us today, but he just hasn't joined the Zoom to my knowledge. Doesn't mean he's like gone forever. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this, go ahead and activate this one because this one's close. So, okay, any questions on Rune? All right. And then finally on Altcoin Alert, let's look for something to short. I mean, a lot of us trade on Bybit and you know, do leverage trading. So let's look for crap, something that's really been, that Altcoin Alert thinks is going to drop even more. So I shorted this MINA trade. I had to ladder buy it over the weekend, but I was in profit on it. So I wouldn't mind hitting that one again. Let's check it out. I don't have it on my list. Okay, day chart trending down pretty hard. Hour chart. It's lost. About 10% last few days. Had a move up here and then shot down again. So this could be a good shorting candidate. Might be a little late for now. See, I want to catch this like up here where it's crossing. We're not that far out though. I mean, this is the candle I probably would have entered on had I, you know, been watching this when I should have been. You know, and they would have picked up 1.2% already. So if this one bumps up again and then drops again, you know, we have 1, 2, 3 dips. Yeah, you can also do the 1, 2, 3 pump. If this doesn't quite look right to you, you can go Alt I on your chart and it'll reverse. It'll look more like you know, like a dip sequence. Okay. So your alert probably on the MFI. We're gonna be crossing down on 80 once per bar close. And then I'll put my AA score. I think it's 33.3. I don't have to be exact, but create my alert and I'm good to go on my short. So any questions on MINA? Okay, any questions on Altcoin Alert overall? I'm gonna jump over to iCoinPro. All right. iCoinPro. This is the home of the 1, 2, 3 dip. And the two tools I like to use to find dip trades and pump trades and, you know, some of the things we just looked at with Altcoin Alert are the RSI SPY and the Buddy Coin Crawler. It also has the Fear and Greed Index handy. Hey, we're up to 24. We were in single digits a few weeks ago. Yeah, let's start with the RSI SPY. Look for it, see if we can find a dip trade. Looking for values of 30 and below. Since we've been down today, we have quite a few to choose from. Win. We're looking for decent volume too. 1 million or more at the very minimum. 5 million or more is better, and 10 million or more is even better than that. So let's see. I was looking at Rune earlier. Has good volume. Did we just look at this one? I think we did. So let's look at OGN. And it's got this handy drop-down menu. Go straight to your trading view chart. It'll bring up the most recent chart you have, and then it'll assign it to this token. So on the 5-minute here, it looks like we're in a dip sequence on OGN as well. Take a quick look at it overall. I had a big move to 82 cents in March, gave up about 3/4 of that on the hour, trending down pretty hard from its July 4th pump, down 40%, ouch. The 5-minute chart, got a squeeze, a bubble, kind of a sideways squeeze / bubble, not real well defined, and then drops pretty hard here. 1, 2, 3. So I think this is definitely qualifies as a dip sequence, but it's still trending down. So I wouldn't get in yet. I like to wait for the green candle to come back. I think iCoinPro teaches to go ahead and get in on the red. It's been a while since I watched the videos, but you know, that probably would be okay, but I prefer to see some evidence of a recovery first. That's why I like the crossing up and crossing down on my indicator alerts. And it's still trending down. What's Bitcoin doing? Yeah, Bitcoin's in danger of losing 20K. So I think everything's going to be trending down pretty hard unless we get a dead cat bounce. But so if you're looking for, you know, a dip trade up on, I'm on the wrong one, OGN, there we go. Yeah, we don't really have, it's broken through all the short-term support on the 5-minute chart. On the 15, yeah, we've broken through the oversold areas on both the RSI and the MFI. So this is where I'd want to see some evidence of a recovery. You get that, put that alert in crossing up on the 20 on the MFI or the 30 on the RSI. What do we have for divergence? Yeah, divergence, bullish divergence has not been very useful. This one's just been trending down pretty hard. Get a few small, yeah, 2%. Couple 1s and 2s, you know, not bad. But I think I go with the indicator alerts on this one. Okay, any questions on OGN? Yeah, Frank's indicating the Mt. Gox effect is coming, and that's a news item that, you know, that was a crypto platform or exchange that was ripped off, and they were able to recover some of their Bitcoin, actually a lot of their Bitcoin, and give it back to their folks. And this was 6 or 7 years ago. So yeah, you might want to Google Mt. Gox, and I think it's 142,000 Bitcoin or something like that are going to be returned to people. And since even as down as Bitcoin is now, people who had it 7 years ago could sell it, you know, and do really well. So it wouldn't surprise me if we had a drop in Bitcoin, or even before that happens, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. I'm not sure if that would affect things now, but it could. All right, let's look at another one with iCoinPro. People, I've traded this one before, Constitution DAO. Chart here, don't need that. All right, people. Day chart listed on Binance, the end of the year, and pretty much down ever since. July 3rd, hit a nice move, about 18%, dropping hard, gave it all back. 5-minute chart, dip sequence. Squeeze, bubble, 1, 2, 3, 4th dip currently. So this is one I would, just like the last one, I want to see, you know, the MFI and the RSI pump above the oversold area before I get in. So that's going to be your alert on the MFI. I'll put this one on the RSI. It's for a little variety, crossing up 30 once per bar close. And that's going to be RSI SPY. Yeah, put that one in. Well, since Bitcoin's dipping pretty hard right now, didn't dip below 20 yet. We'll see if it holds. But anyway, we're in dip sequences now, so you might want to turn me off and go see if you can get in some trades. But you also might want to make sure that they're coming back, show some strength before you get in. Okay, let's look at iCoinPro and the Buddy coin crawler. You can also sort this RSI SPY before we leave, you know, for things that are oversold in the 1 hour, you know, 70 and above, and try to short these. But loop ring would be one. Actually, I was looking at this earlier. You know, you can do the same thing that we talked about for some of the others, just reverse it and catch this. You know, it's actually coming down now, but then trending up a little bit. You might want to catch this, you know, 1, 2, that's on the 15. 1, 3, then we're a little late. So yeah, you might want to do that 15-minute alert to get a better entry. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it came back up a little bit and then it dropped again. That would be the place to get in. Or you could, let's see, what's this doing on the 5? Maybe wait for it to punch up above or print at least a couple red candles before you get in on a short on this. Okay, Buddy coin crawler on iCoinPro. So I used to sort the average low to SMA. It's 24 hours period low, and then to the SMA line. It's at that pink line between my Bollinger Bands. They have this new thing now. You can sort current low to SMA. So there's a lot of movement here, probably from that dip sequence we've been looking at in Bitcoin and the other coins. Let's look at GALA. Okay, on the 5-minute, it's got a big single dip so far on the 5-minute. This dip here is kind of in the transition between, well, one could argue this is the first dip. So we'll ignore that one and count this one. 1, 2, we don't have a green candle punching through the Bollinger Band yet. That's a pretty hard dip right there, but some signs of recovery. See if this one drops down to, say, around 4.7, 4.8 cents. That might be the place to get in. Plenty of room for recovery, even without looking at the hour and the day charts. If we go the indicator route, you know, wait for the MFI to punch above and the RSI to punch above. And what I like about this is, let's say we catch this dip sequence around here. It's telling me I've got 6% to the SMA line. That's really good. That's a lot of movement, a lot of potential for recovery. That'd be a really good day trade. So that's what I like about the Buddy coin crawler. It shows you those coins that have room to move up, after a dip sequence. And you can do better on those than some of the others. Let's see. So that was GALA. I'm looking for usually 4% or better on the current one, 5% or better on the average. This is a day, 24-hour period, like I mentioned, and this one's like right now. So, and I want to look at volume too. So, I knew GALA had good volume, so I didn't really mention it, but 5 million, 10 million, something like that, and daily volumes, what you're looking for. Most of us are not trading on Binance. Some of us trade on Bybit. That 24-hour volume is what you're looking for that figure. So we'll look at maybe one more on here, then wrap it up. Okay, ICP has good volume. It's 5%. JASMY, see quant we looked at already. We haven't looked at JASMY in a while. I think this is a gaming coin. Not sure. 12 million volume. Yeah, it looks just like GALA. So 1, 2, and trying to come back on the 15. Yeah, the MFI just bounced up. RSI has not yet, so I think I would go with the RSI alert, but it probably will trigger fairly soon if it is coming back. So that's going to be your right click on here and add alert, and I've done a couple of these already. So I think this is another one with potential for a dip trade. Yeah, hasn't given me a green candle to cross. So technically this is all a single dip. We haven't had anything punched through yet. Okay, well, that's about all I have for Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro. Any questions on those platforms? Let's check the chat. Nicole's asking, do you think we are losing uni? It's going down a lot. Losing uni. That's one we talked about on Friday, isn't it? Not quite sure what you mean by losing uni. Yeah, it's just a long dips sequence without much of a bubble. It's just like a squeezy dip. Oh, Nicole wants to know if uni's like Luna. No, I don't think so. They're not really comparable in what they do. This is a governance coin for Uniswap. A lot of people use Uniswap. Whether it needs a governance token or not, one could argue, but yeah, I mean, it has dropped a lot, since it's high up here, and well, that's last year. So yeah, it's dropped 80% from the end of the year, but a lot of them have. So I don't think Uni's any better or worse than any other governance token. So, and then Patrick, you still here? Maybe you could.
Yeah.
You think you could share your screen and show us you want to share about your issue with TradingView, or did you resolve that?
I don't think I need to share the screen, but I always like to use Firefox.
Okay.
That's an open and public kind of product, and they make different kind of applications you can add to it called add-ons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a few add-ons, and all of a sudden TradingView just gives me the Bitcoin screen and no items on the far right side. So I asked CJ what he thought I could do. And he says, well, try some other browsers. So I tried Microsoft Edge, and it doesn't have my same watch list at all. So then I tried Google Chrome, and it works fine.
Okay.
And the
Interesting.
one thing I am noticing from watching all of your videos, CJ, is that the RSI kind of follows the MFI. You can just kind of put your fingers on one and trace along. And it's fairly consistent. So they follow each other very closely, except the RSI seems to be more important.
More people use the RSI. I would agree with you. There's about 80 to 90% correlation between the two, but sometimes they don't agree, because I have done strategies before where I want both of them to be in agreement, and sometimes they don't. But yeah, most of the time they do.
Okay, I'm just over here watching things fall apart. So I've come to the conclusion that people are making more money off of shorting and making Bitcoin go down. And it's going to be a while before it starts going back up into the 30s and 40s.
Yeah, I could do another sacrificial Ethereum short. So see if I can bring the market up. But haven't done one in a while. Yeah, so I might do that after this. But for those of you who don't know, I've had a running joke for the last year or so that whenever I short, a major coin like Bitcoin or Ethereum without really doing any analysis, the market pumps up and wrecks my short. So
And we
it's,
all thank you.
yes, I sacrifice 40, $50 for the team, but I've done a couple of them over this dump and actually made money on them. So it hasn't worked as much. It worked better, obviously, worked better, against me and for you. Those of you in long positions, earlier in the year and towards the end of last year. But anyway, we'll see if I'll do another one. Okay, any other? Well, I'm glad your TradingView worked out on Chrome. It's if you prefer Firefox, I hope you figured that out. Any other questions or comments on what we discussed? All right. In that case, if you're watching on the recording, I appreciate you doing that. If you missed me today, I'm sorry. Carbon got in the way. Speaking of Carbon, that webinar is coming up in about 18 minutes. So I will get on about 5 minutes after the Elite webinar, probably between 5:30 and 6, Pacific, depending on how long Kevin runs. And then we'll chat about whatever he discussed and any other things Carbon. So for now, I will let you go, and we'll see you in a little bit.